Okay, so everybody says they want this big business with all these clients, more freedom, more success. But when it's time to do the work to make it happen, that's where a lot of people fall off. They're not really ready for it. This episode is all about the 6 main questions you need to ask yourself to know if you're really ready for the growth you desire. Stay tuned for this one.
And
Break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. I'm telling everybody.
so I'm so excited that we're talking about these 6 things. I mean, just from talking to women in general, maybe our personal experiences. These are the 6 questions that tend to come up. So I'm glad that we're addressing them. First one being, are you willing to let go of what's no longer working? Because chances are, if you're already in this and you're at this point, you're like, okay, I need to move to the next level. You have a really good idea of like, okay, this hasn't been working. This has been working a little bit. Where do I kind of move from here? Do you feel as though a lot of people are just not willing to let go of what's not working?
I don't know. I think it plays a part in what they think should work and what's being shown. Like the whole reality thing. You think about when people are dating and the guy is showing you all the things, but you still, he got potential. Oh, he's still, So I think sometimes business plays a part in that as well. And we're looking at the things that we know that could take us to the next level.
Yeah.
We're not willing to do the actionable steps to get there because of what we're looking at. And we're like, okay, if it's not broken, why fix it? Let me just keep repeating it. So I think that plays a lot. And maybe that pertains to ego and attachment because you're attached to this strategy that has always brought you this. And you're attached to this thing that has always done this thing. But to see a next level, some things do change.
I mean, some things absolutely need to change. I feel as though, like you said, if we're just used to something, there's a certain attachment there for one reason or the other. We could be having in our heads, this method has worked before. If it's not working now, maybe I'm just not doing this method right. When the whole time, it might be just time for a different method. Because just as we evolve as people, our business evolves, our customer evolves, the tools used to get that service to that customer evolves. And so it's completely fine for your method to change. And maybe you were not the problem. Maybe the method is the problem. And so being so married to the method. Married to the method, and you have, tried it for a long time. You have self-evaluated, like, it's not me. I mean, obviously, it's time to change the method.
Yeah, I think about outdating pricing when it's time to go to the next level. So some people might be attached to, people are paying this. Why change it? But if you're trying to move to a next revenue level, some things need to shift. Like you said, we evolve, the client evolves.
Right.
So who is that higher tier client that's going to pay more to get you to the next level that you're desiring?
Right.
I think sometimes we attach to, I already got a cycle of what's working. I already got a cycle of people paying this. Who will they even? You start questioning, will they even pay more for this?
Look. And I can understand with the way that the world is moving, and we'll leave it there, but with the way that the world is moving, things are getting more expensive. But there's a reason things are getting more expensive. You, unfortunately, should get more expensive, or you're going to drown out and be left behind and be stuck. Like even detaching or just not being married to this particular price range that may have worked in the past, but is not sustainable for you now. And so the service is suffering as a result of that. I mean, we're going to be talking a lot about just letting go of some stuff today.
I love the word. I like how you talked about detaching from, and I think about when you say detaching from any and all outcomes and just doing or just being embodiment, right? So I think about the same way, the market is constantly shifting.
All the time.
We're in a mature market currently, right? So if you know that the market consistently changes, why wouldn't you change with it? When you don't change against it, y'all remember Hex? The department store Hex?
No.
So Hex was kind of like a JCPenney's, a Macy's, department store or whatever. But because they didn't want to change with the times when technology was advancing, they got washed out. So do you want to be a hex? If you don't remember hex, oh my God. But if you don't remember hex, you will be washed out because you are not looking at the market that you are in, currently shifting something so that you are not necessarily relatable, but you are not necessarily relevant either, but you are doing what's necessary for your business. So a lot of times we are so emotionally attached and we're not in our business acumen hat that we know to, because at the end of the day, we're a business. We're not, yes, we are emotionally attached to our stuff, but there are times that I remember you said a couple episodes ago that we have to put that emotion away and look what the numbers and look what the market is saying and how we should appropriately just change. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to, what? Are you willing to put away things that are no longer serving you or not helping you grow your business? If that's not an honest answer for yourself, then maybe growth isn't in your future just yet.
Yeah, I love that we're starting off strong. So the second very important question that you have to ask yourself in this climate is, do you have a real sales process, or are you just posting, because we're in social media age, are you just posting and hoping?
And praying.
And praying. And like kind of winking to them through the pictures and through the reels and stuff like that. So I think that that's very interesting because even though, and I feel like the information is readily available to know it's not just about posting, a lot of people still kind of default on that. They see that as just the marketing, but not the whole rest of the way to the sale. And it's really important to just plan that whole thing out, and we're going to get to that. But let's talk about, why do we think posting is all that we have to do? Do you think that the way that we're seeing other people do it is misleading? Do you think that there's a lack of a true understanding of your business or our business or, you know, the customer service aspect of it? I think it's a lack of putting yourself in the customer's shoes. Like, yeah, if your post is very engaging, they want to interact with it and stuff, that's fine, but you don't want them to just interact with your post about your business and leave a comment. You want them to become intrigued and click and actually get to where, you know what, I do want to work with you. So why do you think that people are missing that connection?
I think it's everything you just said. I think it's a lack of understanding a process or a sales process. And I also think it's, oh, I see her posting, so let me post. Or the thought of, okay, if I post, somebody's going to see it and take action. And it doesn't necessarily always work that way, right? It's a science behind, that's why I say sales process. So I think when it comes to that, we are just posting, and we see every guru and their mama out there saying, post a relatable, post something that will make somebody laugh, post something educational, but no one's really talking through the science behind it. So when you are posting something educational, that you're educating your potential client, potential customer on something, after that, what happens? So what's the call to action? What do you even want them to do? Call to action, CTA. What do you want them to do? And when you put it out there, are you even measuring, did they take that action? Mapping out from this post, what does that process even look like if it's a post? Sometimes the sales process is not even that. Sometimes it's picking up the phone and having conversations with people that lead them to the transformation that they want.
True.
So understanding what works for you. Some people, like you just said, default to just posting because it's just the easiest, simplest thing to do. The next thing is lack of investment. So because I think posting is the easiest, freest thing to do, I'm not going to invest in the knowledge of what actually works for my business, or me educating myself on what's actually going to work best for my customer to do that. So making the investment, working the wheel faster than someone who's just throwing it out there, throwing spaghetti on the wall and thinking, oh, whatever sticks, we're just going to write with it today.
I'm proud of you, girl.
You know, we'll teach you all. So I think it's
I appreciate it.
So I think it's a lack of knowing, which basically what you said, and lack of investment, because why invent a whole wheel? Why not just work the wheel that works and gain the knowledge of investment? And what things is, when you invest, you move the needle 10 times faster than you put on your own. Whether it's an investment in a course or a coach or something that's going to help you understand what a sales process is, one, and how you tailor it to work for your customer. Because not everybody's process is for everybody. No business is a one size fit all.
Right.
So I think it's a combination of both things, and then a little bit of fear because of what I don't know, and and maybe it's a little bit of desperation because I need to get this money, but I'm gonna do the free stuff. How you want people to buy your stuff and you're not investing in something else?
See, when I'm thinking about that, part of what you said, just like a lack of knowledge, when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about what are really your priorities? Do you just want to be seen or do you want to get paid as well?
That's good.
Like, yes, your efforts should go into whatever method that you choose to market. We're specifically speaking about posting at this point. But like, you have to separate the fact that you have a business to, I'm just trying to like look popular. I'm just trying to look popping. I don't want you to be a person who, yeah, it's ego and it's like vanity metrics. I don't want you to be the type of person who thinks that the success of your business has to depend on how many followers, and how many likes, and how many comments. Like, yes, in the algorithm that will allow it to be pushed more, but don't act like that's the only way you're going to get to a certain clientele. And don't act like those vanity metrics are the only reason or the way that you can charge a certain amount either. So with this question, when we're talking about posting, first thing that comes to mind to me is how much emphasis are you putting on the social media platform versus your business, honey?
Right.
And, you know, just going to the next part of that, I do think it's also a lack of a customer journey. Like you lack next steps. You're so focused on what it's looking like and, oh, I got followers, yay. But like, what are your next steps? Like I said, they liked it, they commented, that's wonderful. But if 300 people comment in your post and not one of them has clicked your link to actually set up a consultation, buy like whatever you have,
What's going on?
what was the point? What was really the point? So a customer journey is something that helps you to map out from when a customer first sees you all the way to the sale. And if you're really good at it, even beyond that point, right? So after the post, since that's what we're talking about, what are those call to actions besides just leaving a comment? And I know that you're going to see throughout the rest of our thing, we will be encouraging people to leave a comments, but that's because we also want to build community.
Right.
But some call to actions are geared towards having you click a link, go check out something that we're doing to learn more, because the post was just meant to entice you. And then from there, our true customers, they will be so enticed with what we're talking about. They're going to move on to the next step and the next step, and eventually, you know, want to work with us. When they see that what we have to offer is valuable to them and a need for them to move to the next step. And that's the way that you have to be thinking before you even make a post. Like you have to, something Shy says a lot, and I love it. Like you have to work backwards. Go to the goal and then work your way backwards. What has to get to this point, what has to get to that point, and that point, and that point, all the way back to that very first interaction, the very first time that someone sees you, which in context of this question, your post. So if you don't have that, what are you really doing?
Yeah. And that's a lot of the misconceptions of, do you even have a real sales process? I think about visibility versus conversion. If you're just, because we're going to keep riding the same example. If you're just posting, how visible are you versus converting?
Right.
Because you can be seen all you want, but no one's converting or doing anything. And that's what Brittany just broke down. I think about the example where there was, I can't think of her name, there was this influencer who had all the followers, but she was supposed to sell like this t-shirt for a company, was like, and she couldn't even sell no more than 30. But she had over 1 million plus followers, right? So it shows you right there, you could have all of the vanity metrics, but not convert anybody where it makes sense. So we want you to really sow into, when you're looking at your sales process, what am I saying? Right? What is this action taking? What are the marks in my customer journey that's hitting them where they need to be hit for them to take the next step? And then once I have them, how am I nurturing them, building relationships and building trust with them? How am I feeling that I am credible, that I can truly help them? What are the things you're saying and doing in your journey that's nurturing along the way, so that they know it's a must yes that I need to work with her. It's a must yes that I need what she's providing for me. So I want you guys to think through that as you're going to answer the question about real growth. Do I even have a real sales process in place, and not banking on hoping and praying? That's not a sales strategy. Hoping and praying that this is going to work for me. So that is a really good question we want you guys to take note of and truly answer for yourself.
So the next very important question that you should be asking yourself for your business, are you making CEO decisions or side hustler moves? So you may be asking yourself, well, what's really the difference? A huge difference. CEO decisions are executive decisions for your business. What's going to move it forward? What is in the best interest of my business? You're looking at your business as a company, as something bigger than yourself, as something that you are, and you are responsible for its health, for its vibrance, for its impact, all of that. And making CEO decisions or moving in those directions versus side hustle decisions, it's just like, look, what can I do right now? Like, what's just gonna get me through the moment? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the energy is different.
It's not big picture thinking.
No, it's not. You need to see the episode. It's not
Yes.
big picture thinking at all. I think about the impact that our decisions make in our business. So for the person who is side hustling, because in this world of the Madeherselfaboss community, we don't believe in that. But you're thinking about, can I get any and all things versus what is actually in alignment and intentional for my business? So if we think about delegation, how that is extremely important as far as your growth of business, you feeling like you're a one-woman show doing all of the things versus looking at what are the tasks that I must do that bring in revenue, right? So that you're focused on revenue building things. And what are the tasks that I can get an intern to do, or go on Fiverr to get some money up, somebody else to do, or a college intern. What are the things that I must do versus that? That is delegation.
Yes.
Delegation will bring in more money than you could buy yourself, because it frees you up to do the tasks that actually bring and drive revenue that only maybe you can do at this point in time and season in your business. So think about those things as far as the decision making for where you are right now currently in your business, growing. What are the better decisions you can make? I think about, so even if you're not ready for employees yet, there are always other ways to get the help that you need, simply by opening your mouth and asking or doing the research for it. Also thinking about when it is time for you to get employees, if that's where you are, having the fear of, will I make payroll, is not serving you, versus I know that bringing somebody in for 40 hours to directly work on my business that will help me grow will automatically double the revenue in my household company, because I am able to do the bigger tasks that drive money and revenue in my business. No one can rock the stage like you. No one can speak about your business the way you do. So freeing you up to do the things that drive potential clients, prospects, whatever, will free you up for somebody else that can do the research, that can do the scheduling, that can do the invoicing, that can do all of that stuff that you don't even have to worry about. They can schedule the emails for you. They can do all of that while you focus on things that are more geared to your business. So I want you to think about delegation as one way of making a decision that will serve you.
Absolutely. And this is something I want to throw in about delegation. For all you girls who just find it so hard to ask for help, I get it. I understand. That's me sometimes. And you can start small, like for the lady who has not invested in help before. And so she may have it, but mentally she's like not prioritizing it. You need to. Okay, you can if you can find money for vacation, someone say, hey, let's go to Jamaica next month. You want to make it work. Right, so use that same energy to put together some funds, set yourself a number for investing in that help, or investing in that person whose delegated job it is to take that off of your plate so that you can shine in your greatness. So it might take some self-talk to be like, you know what, I do need help. You know what, I don't want to be overwhelmed anymore. You know what, it's stopping me actually from moving to the next level. It's okay, we understand, but now do something about it. Just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah, so that is another crucial question. Question number 3, are you making decisions like a CEO or a side hustler? That we want you to really dig deep on that and ask yourself that question and answer it, because we want to make sure you're ready for growth. And your answer depends on how ready for growth you really are for this.
That's right.
So we have some more questions. Remember, it's 6 total questions we want you to ask yourself. But before we do that and continue, we're going to go on a break. We'll be right back.
Ready to grow your business without the grind? Visit growthwithoutgrind.com, the go-to resource for women entrepreneurs. From digital products and exclusive events to practical freebies and must-have tools, we have everything to help you grow no matter your stage in business. Say goodbye to burnout and hello to growth. Find what you need at growthwithoutgrind.com.
Welcome back to the Madeherselfaboss podcast, all about mastering methods and mindsets to making more money in your business. And now we're talking about 6 amazing questions you need to ask yourself to see if you are truly ready for growth. We are now on question number 4. The next question is, are you truly focused on the one thing, or are you distracted about everything? Let's talk about shiny drone syndrome, right? You know, when the object is all and you're like, oh, over here, oh, over here, over here. Are you doing that in your business? And that may look like trying every marketing thing that you see new on the block. Or that may be, let me try every single offer in the world because it looks good in this moment. Like, what are you doing that has you distracted by everything versus anchoring in and focusing on the one thing? I know we have the thing called the object of one, the one problem you're solving, the one solution you're providing, the one type of audience you're serving. Like, what has you so distracted where every single thing you see you want to try? Have you?
Well, I think it's really easy to get distracted with that shiny object syndrome. That's so on point for what it is, right? I think it's really easy to fall into that if you don't have that plan. So I know that you and I are big sticklers for when you find that one thing that you do and that one solution and stuff like that, to use that to come up with a whole plan, a customer journey plan, how do I want to do this plan, and even down to how I'm going to market it plan. So when you actually spend time looking at that, working backwards, to the point where it makes sense to you, feels good to you, I think that you're less likely to be distracted by those other methods that you see. Like, you may keep a mental note of it, but you'll want to see your plan through. And I know we have another episode where we're talking about, like, every so often, even like quarterly, reviewing that, you know, setting goals for that quarter, using the plans, actually see it through, see how it turned out, and then change things accordingly. I think if you have that and you're disciplined to that, you're not going to get as distracted, because you have to see your plan through. You have to see if that worked before you switch over to something else. So do you think that even some people who do have, well, number one, I know you're doing it because you don't have a plan, but for those who do have a plan, for those who do have a plan and they're still getting distracted, like second guessing their plan, why do you think some people might be doing that?
Because they're either not confident or committed to the plan they already have. I think when you see your plan, you're like, okay, and then maybe you're in the midst of the plan and something happens within the midst that deters you. So you're not as truly confident in the plan that you created or committed all the way through, like you said, to see it through.
Right.
And sometimes it goes back to, did they even master the one? So has you even going back before the plan, did I even confirm that this is the one that I needed to master to even make the plan for? You think about Rihanna or a lot of people who are big. They didn't get big or become billionaires because they were doing multiple things at one time. They mastered the one thing, set it up, whether it worked or not, forgot it, continued it, whatever, they stopped, and then they worked on the next thing that built up for them and kept going. So I think about that even in our business, when we are mastering the one thing before we add additional offers, before we add additional or maybe segmented audiences to our plate, does it even work? Taking the time to say, okay, I want to serve this audience, helping them with this particular solution. Let me ride it out and see if this actually works for me. Let me master the marketing and the messaging, right? Which is a whole nother part for this particular audience. Does it even work? Is it even worth, like you said, building this huge plan or building a plan to see it through?
Or it's not the right time now.
Right, or it's not the right time. But you don't know these things unless you actually take the time to do your research and then master it. But when you're focusing in so many things, your mind can't even focus on the one thing to know, okay, did this messaging work? Did this marketing, am I marketing to the right people? Was this, why are people even here? You don't even know these things because you're too busy focused on it. That's like the same person that says, like, you need to have 5 or 7 different businesses to make a lot of money. That is not true.
It's actually not.
Totally not even true. You can really make millions off of the one thing, the one business, and then go and then do something else. Build something up till it no longer needs you, and then focus on something else. So when you think about this particular question, think about mastering all that it pertains to the particular audience that you want to do. And test. A lot of things are just testing, like ads. You're doing a lot of testing with it. So you're working on, okay, does this messaging even resonate with them? And then to know that it takes maybe up to 90 days or more to know if it actually works, where you're measuring and you have data to back up, you know what? this did work. This is good. Let's proceed. Let's amplify this.
That's absolutely true. It's so funny that you used Rihanna as your example.
Yeah.
I will never forget this. So I used to be the girl who loved like little magazines out the hair store, right?
Yeah.
And I remember reading in one magazine, Rihanna, when she was 19, she was talking back then about having a lingerie brand. When she was 19, she didn't come out with like Savage Fenty until like 10 years
Down
later. And people were like, oh, that's so innovative. I'm like, no, she's been thinking about this. But she was smart in knowing that it's not the right time. I have my music thing going on right now. Like, let me ride this out. Audience is building, wealth is building, investments are building.
Yes.
And so it was a perfect time to launch something like that because she already had that presence to be able to push something and it take off like as quickly as it did.
And you said something so powerful when you were talking about Rihanna. She had that audience. Same thing with business. You're building a community first. So she already had the community
aspect. A diehard community.
Extremely loyal community. And because she had that good diehard community, she was able to launch the next thing. I think she went into acting, and then after that she started something else. So saying all that to say that she was very methodical, even though she had the vision 10 plus years ago of where she wanted to be. She understood foundational principles that I had to build an audience and then that if we're going to be loyal and engaging, because they are engaging, right? But I think a lot of times entrepreneurs want to skip foundational principles versus what already works and think that they can do more further faster without doing the foundational principles. A lot of times structured things makes more sense, and simplifying things can multiply all things and make more money. So we want to make sure you guys are understanding that. So that is another question we want you to ask yourself if you are ready for actual growth in your business.
So long story short, you got to see it through. My boy, my girl, my woman, my boss. You got to see it through. So that actually kind of brings us into the next question. Do you have a plan for consistency, or are you just winging it? And I feel like a lot of these questions go back to like, look, are you acting like you know what you're doing? Or are you just winging it moment by moment, day by day, like thugging it?
Hustling.
And during the last question, I think we kind of talked about what being consistent would look like. Having that plan, having a desired outcome for that plan, figuring out and breaking down like, okay, what can I do to get to there? How can I attract people in? The motions, all that stuff. That is going to help you stay consistent because it's a plan. You just have to follow it, right? Instead of just winging it. People wing it because number one, they don't have a plan. We're going to say that a lot. They see someone else doing something, and it looks shiny and cool, like, oh, it's working for them. Maybe I should just scrap everything I just thought about. Just not being clear. I think winging is a response of just unpreparedness, fear, scrambling, stress, desperation, all those things that you don't want to feel. Like it's and I know what's happening my mic, my bad. It's almost a trauma response. I'm gonna put it in that category.
It definitely can be a trauma response. That's why systems make your success predictable. So, and even thinking about the question that we're asking you, do you have systems in place where you know that your success is predictable? Do you know that if you bring in 20 leads this week through your freebies, that out of those 20 leads, 3 of them are going to convert? Do you know that down pat? Like, what are the systems that you have in place that, one, buy your time back, and two, help you know that revenue is going to be coming in for you? So when I think about, you said stress and desperation energy, that tells me that you're not doing the things that buy your time back, one.
Right.
So are you literally sending every email out every day? Are you literally posting things every day? Are you literally writing all the things? Like, are you literally doing every single step that you wrote out or that you need to plan out on your customer journey? Or are there some automations that you can put in place to make life a little bit easier? Are there some delegation tools you can use that help people do the research and the pitching for you to get you in front of the people that you need to serve, right? So buying your time back gives you more time and energy to be in, one, the places that you want and love and enjoy to do, and two, the things that actually bring in revenue for you to predict. Do you even have a CRM or QuickBooks, something that can predict the income that is coming in or help you know what you need to have come in? Right. We have this whole profitability calculator packet thing where it'll break all the numbers and systems down, what we use to help us know, okay, actually need to get in front of 100 people to make 5 people buy this price point, right? It makes systems make it predictable. So what systems do you even have in place so that growth even makes sense for you to like grow your business? So I want you to think about the systems, because systems are, one, sexy, but two, it helps you even know what you even got coming into you.
Yeah, it does. And following the system as a baseline, because we don't want to say that like there's 0% times where, you know, you might do something, a tweak, a tweak, not a whole different thing, but a tweak. And we talk about that. You know, we have meetings, we review the plan regularly after creating the plan for the quarter or for the whatever. Like, hey, are there any tweaks needed? Because in our plan, we know that we have a goal, 100 people we need to get in front of. Are we getting in front of that with what we currently have? What can we tweak to make that happen? And so it's so important to just make sure that you have that system. That system is not just going to buy you time back. It's going to buy you your sanity back. It's going to give you a baseline. It's just going to give you what you need to like even be able to make decisions.
Yeah, and it's the difference between growth and chaos. Like if you know, well, not if you know, because we already know, to know that money can come to you easily, same as your business. Your business does not have to, growth in your business does not have to be hard. But you're making it hard with the things, not having systems in place, not creating the plan, and not knowing. So we want you to use this episode to help you to educate yourself on some of the things that may be missing so that you can experience growth. My thing is, you know the saying that God will never give you nothing that you can't handle? Well, I mean, he's not going to downpour all the money, all the clients, all the things you want if you don't even have the systems to handle it. Your bandwidth, your capacity. If you don't even have the systems to handle it, and a cool question to ask, because you know I'm going to put my favorite person in there. If Beyonce shouted you out today and you know you're going to have hundreds and thousands of people looking at you, could you right now with what you have set up today, be honest, could you handle the influx of people coming? Could you handle all those orders? Are you ready right now today to handle that influx? If your answer is no,
you need to get ready.
You need to get ready. You need to already be in the Rihanna mindset of that 10-year vision she already had. You need to be in that place today. So we want to make sure that you guys are looking at that and think about that as you're answering this question honestly. All right?
That's good. The last of these 6 very important questions that you should be asking yourself is, are you receiving the support that you actually need, or are you going at this alone? And I think that this is going to unfortunately be a continuous question that we're going to be bringing up because so many women, including us at one point, had that superwoman syndrome where you're just thugging it out alone, not even asking, not even considering, not even thinking about any help, when in actuality, once you know what you want to do and you have those goals, just as important as where am I going to put the money at, should be, okay, what team do I need to help me execute this? Not just your systems, your automated stuff that you can, again, do yourself, but what team is going to hold you accountable? What team is going to take some of that off of your plate? What team is going to be tasked? What part of your team is going to be tasked to do certain things so that you can move forward and everything just work in this harmonious way? But so many of us, sometimes, just default to doing it by ourselves. Like, why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think we just try to figure it out the best that we can. When there are already resources out here, the biggest resources is the resource that you're watching this on, right? This podcast, the Madeherselfaboss brand community, the women that are in here are resources. And one thing you said about the team that holds you accountable, those are your coaches. Those are people that can see and foresee things that you can't and help you move the needle faster. And you can no longer use the excuse, well, I don't have the investment to do so, when there are also free resources out there for you to do so. SCORE, the SBA, they actually have people and business owners that can serve and help you for free, right? So there is no excuse why you don't have a mentor or a coach or somebody that can see and help you foresee the things in your business until you can get the investment to actually invest in a business, right? The investment that you put in, whether it's time, money, space, energy, whatever it is, comes back 10 times fold. And if you don't stand 10 toes down in that energy of what investment really is, you will never get the desired income you want for yourself. I want to make sure we bring that home to you because it is such a support system that you need. Now, I just mentioned 2 free resources. Now, if you leave this episode and still start complaining about what you don't have and what you can't afford, which is a word, a fragment that you should never say, what you can't afford, then I don't know what we can do, because there are really free resources that are here to help you grow in all of the ways. You have to put effort in finding them. Just like we did, just like many others done before you, putting effort into finding the things that will help you move your business forward. And that includes the support, also includes the mental support to have it. So the therapy, the life coaching, being in spaces and places that will help you, stretch you, grow you, being in community. So
Right.
if your desire is to make, I don't know, 6, 7, and 8 figures, make sure you're in those rooms where they are. Right? You have to be in the vision point. Back to what Brittany said, Rihanna knew the vision for herself way before she was there. How are you placing yourself in the vision where you want to be today in this moment? And how are you showing up as that vision of yourself? So I want to make sure that support is so important and vital to your business. Support is a strategy. Self-care is a strategy. And we want to make sure that you're utilizing it to compel and perfect yourself even further.
Absolutely.
So these are the 6 important questions that you need to answer honestly to see if you are truly ready for growth in your business. And if you are not answering them honestly, you will never see the growth you're truly desiring. And when you answer these questions and you figure out, you know what, I do need more help, this resource, this brand, these 2 women right here are the people that are going to be here to help and support you along the way. You just need to tap into doing so.
You have to. So I don't know, Shy, like maybe these 6 questions should be the journal prompts.
You know what? Those are going to be the journal prompts for you.
So we'll have these questions listed out below. So you got 6 journal prompts this time. Sorry, not sorry. Please take your time, really answer these honestly, because this is going to be the determining factor of like whether you're going to move forward or continue to just be in this stuck, uncomfortable, complacent state. Please make sure that you subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to this or watching this podcast. We're Bree and Shy, Team Madeherselfaboss. We will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Try to be fine, but I can't be. Not in my mind what I need.